And we are live, and the phone's going off. I want to get that thing for the chat. I want the chat. Give me the chat. Live now. This is great TV. All right. And get over here. Hello and welcome to the ElseNerds, a production of Galactic Netcasts. Try that again. Hello and welcome to the ElseNerds, a production of Galactic Networks. I'm Gregor Sprague.
I'm Beatmaster.
He's not Corey Scott, folks.
No, I'm not.
And for all info on this show, including show notes and subscription links, go to ElseNerds.com. And for other Galactic Network programs, go to gncasts.com.
And we don't allow spoiler pussies. We talk about spoilers all we want, and we obviously use language. How are you doing, Corey?
Well, I'm doing pretty good. Yeah, I got my paycheck for the first week or
Sweet.
whatnot. So yeah, which I quickly spent. And okay, so minor gripe with how things were, but it's like whatever, first world problems, get over it. They mailed the first paycheck, and I'm like, all right, cool, whatever. But I didn't get it until Saturday. I was working Saturday, and I didn't get out until the banks closed. So I'm like, I could use that money right now, fill up my gas tank and and all this other stuff. But no, I gotta wait. I gotta stretch this gas out now for 2 other days until I can get into the bank and get my monies. And so that's basically what happened here. And yeah, that sucked. So for those of you guys who are watching and listening, going, wait, Corey sounds really foreign right now. It's because Corey is taking a week off, doing other things. I think work things, maybe. I don't know. We'll find out next week. And so joining him, taking his place, is Beatmaster. He's the guy always behind the scenes that is giving the great comments. Some of my best lines are from Beatmaster. It's just me repeating him. So I will have no lines today because Beatmaster is going to give me everything to say, and I'll just repeat it.
Hell yeah! I'm gonna give you some dirt, but just to say, my goal is always to make you squirm and be angry on me for a comment you can't repeat on the stream. So that's my thing. Yeah.
Yes. So, and sometimes I don't really get that that note of don't say this on the stream, and I say it on the stream, and then he gets mad. He's like, that wasn't supposed to be said out loud. Like, sorry. But no, so enough chit-chatting about us two. Let's get into the news. We got 3 news stories here that I think you guys are gonna like. The first one is that Marvel is launching a new She-Hulk series, and it is going to just be called Hulk. And this is it'll be written by Mariko Tamiki, and it will be, I forgot who they said the artist is. But it'll be starring Jennifer Walters / She-Hulk as the main protagonist. And off the bat, I'm a little upset about this. Not of the fact that they're making a She-Hulk book, but of the timing. Because we are right now in the middle of an event book, what with Marvel Civil War 2. And now we know where or how exactly Jennifer Walters, or possibly Jennifer Walters, survive Civil War 2. Because this, and it makes sense, that she'll get a book because she's been a big focal point for especially for a lot of the tie-in books. It was mentioned in I don't think it was a Civil War tie-in, but the Patsy Walker, aka Hellcat, they mentioned that. But it's this hard thing of, she's in a coma, and now it's like, but she'll be fine when her book comes out. she'll be all right as oh well, as right as rain as you can be with, you know, being in a coma throughout this whole event and your cousin dying, who also, hey, guess what? He gave you your powers, so there's that. And but yeah, the cover picture, and I honestly hope this is the cover of the first issue, looks so freaking awesome. I love this cover. It is just the Hulk, or it is She-Hulk holding the word Hulk, like the logo from the old cartoon show, in her best angry voice or angry thing. And Beat, you pointed out the quote from Axel Alonso, the editor in chief at Marvel. He said the title She-Hulk evokes lighthearted stories about a Jennifer Walters who is at peace with herself and in full control of her powers. This isn't that book. Now, what do you think of this, Beat?
Confused, because I was introduced to She-Hulk more in a lighthearted spirit, being the pure opposite of the whole Banner in misery story and everything like that comes with his baggage. And for a long time, some people maybe not know this, she is related to Bruce Banner. She's her cousin. And so there is a dynamic that was always special, and now she takes over more or less this with the less emotional controls. Or what's the thing that he wants to tell us? What's going to be different exactly?
I think what's going to happen is, because she's always been the lawyer who's where she would occasionally lose control, but she generally had her anger under control. I think this is going to be her grieving, because she's going to be awake, realizing James Rhodes is dead. These are all spoilers for the comic book Civil War II, by the way. That she missed this whole battle. She missed, there could have been other people who died. And all this, that her cousin died, that Bruce was died after he was seemingly cured of being the Hulk. And so I think she's just going to sort of lose it, to be honest. This is going to be her way of grieving, is just get the fuck away from me, basically.
I don't know if that portrayal, it's always a social justice warrior thing or whatever when you say something about women, but mutually, if it's good to portray a woman that isn't able to keep it together, if it's the best portrayal for a heroine. But I guess there's more to it, more subtle nuances.
Yeah, I think this one will be okay because of the fact of, it's going to be a new #1 book. You will get these social justice warriors or whoever, bitching up a storm. But at the same time, if they took the moments to read the previously in on the first page, on the splash page, to where they realize, oh, she's dealing with stuff. She's dealing with the loss of her cousin, the loss of her best friend, whatever's going to happen with her other best friend in Captain Marvel, with whatever else happens with the end of Civil War too. Then it's going to be okay that, oh, she's getting angry here, folks. And so I don't know. I get that, like with social justice warriors, but with this, it's like, no, give it some time. And also, it should be noted that the heroine last starred in her last self-titled book was 2 years ago, written by Charles Soule and drawn by Javier Pulido, and it was good, but it didn't have the steady audience, so it got canceled after 12 issues. But it was a great story that it told through that, and it wasn't a action raw Hulk smash sort of book. It was Jennifer Walters as a lawyer. The big storyline in there was a age-ified Captain America being put on trial for something he did back in like back during like World War II or something like that.
Right.
Like World War One, World War II. And it was a great story. And all the lawyer stuff I even felt was better because of the fact that Charles Soule is a lawyer, or Soule is a lawyer and all that. But I don't know, it will be and also this isn't you're going to be seeing more female comic book or leading books coming up after Civil War II, because you have the Riri Williams will be taking over the Iron Man status in a new series, and Kate Bishop will be is going to be getting her own book as Hawkeye.
Just a side thought, just a thought, because Mark Ruffalo isn't that young anymore. Sorry, Mark. I could imagine after Ragnarok and Infinity War that there's a chance maybe they pick up that notion that She-Hulk is ready for primetime. Unlike David Goyer said, she's only a fuck buddy for Hulk, but no, she has really potential, and that there's so much to her. I hope they don't. I hope they respect her character and do the proper thing with the whole new thing.
They don't mess her up like they did when they tried to do the Green Lantern movie. Also, I'm going to point out right now that on your lower third, our ElseNerds logo looks sort of like the CBS logo.
The all nerding eye.
Exactly. So the next news story here is Turner, the company, has made this massive bid to get the Star Wars movies to where they could stream them on cable, to where they can air them on cable. So they had to do two separate deals. For those of you guys who don't know, they did one with Disney for 10 movies. So this is, in theory, this is doing episode 1, episode 2, episode 3, 5, 6, 7, Rogue One, 8, the movie between 8 and 9, and then 9. And then they did another separate deal with Fox for A New Hope, or episode 4, or the original Star Wars, depending on how you want to look at that.
For the people that don't know, the rights still belong to Fox for the Star Wars, the 4th movie, however you want to go.
Yeah, Fox has forever and ever until they're bought by Disney, or whoever. They have the rights to the first Star Wars movie.
Imagine that.
But where was the price?
Billions.
Yeah, it'll be the value of the deal is estimated by industry sources to be at least $250 million over a license term that runs through at least 2022, giving the release schedule of the later films. But yeah, this is wow, this is a big deal, and it seems like there's something I heard with Turner doing, or TNT, Turner, who owns TNT, doing a similar deal for the Avengers and the Marvel movies, but I have not seen that pan out yet.
Yes. And there's a special part that covers the streaming rights and the video on demand on their own services, not on other ones. Netflix still gets their deal with Disney they had made half a year ago, something like that. So that's still in place, but they get the basic cable rights. And the window that Netflix has is shorter than they will have. So they will have it for a longer time on their service.
Netflix will have the movies for a year, and then they'll go away, with how the deal works, from what I understand from the Variety article. But what I didn't realize is because I was actually on Sci-Fi Geeks Club when they covered the fact that Netflix, especially the Netflix in Canada, will get Star Wars: The Force Awakens before any, like all the other Netflixes will get it before the American one will get it, and it's because they're still in the deal with Stars.
On Star Trek Discovery, same. In the whole world will see it on Netflix, and you only on CBS All Access. So
and but and then so it got me thinking like, oh yeah, so this deal with that they signed with Netflix to where I think the deal with Stars ends in 2 years. So in 2018, or maybe it's 2017, something like that. It's ending real soon. And then, but it never occurred to me that, oh wait, there's another part of the deal, the TV rights to the movies. That part it never dawned on me. And so I think this is just Turner collecting the other bits that they needed out of Disney's library here of movies that maybe can't be played exactly on Disney Channel or maybe even Freeform, or any other Disney owned networks because of the violence or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is a story that doesn't really affect you though, because you're over in Europe.
Oh, come on.
So
It's sometimes no, it's getting more important because Netflix has the reach and Amazon as well. Ever more so, do go ahead, and HBO also tried in some Nordic countries in Russia, but I see it coming our way, and then it's good to know, to be up to date how the deals work, even if you're just a viewer that wants to be aware which service I have to get the most
Yeah.
out of it, because you can waste a lot of money if you go after all the original content there is.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, definitely. And then the final bit of news before we get into our nerding out is some sad news, and this is that the Space Ghost Coast to Coast voice actor C. Martin Crocker passed away. This happened over the weekend, and he is best known for playing Zorak and Moltar in Space Ghost Coast to Coast. He passed away on the 18th at the age of 54. Still a young guy, to be honest. And he's they haven't announced the cause of death, but this dude in a way shaped some of my childhood, some of my later childhood with Space Ghost Coast to Coast. And it's one of those that I didn't quite realize it until later, where I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that show. That show was awesome. Why doesn't it air anymore? And all that. And that, I would always see the name C. Martin Crocker on different things. And it was like, oh yeah, cool. Like it was sort of what I started to understand. Well, not understand, but started to follow actors as opposed to just characters. But no, yeah. And also I should also point out that he voiced Dr. Weird and his assistant Steve in the first 2 seasons of Aqua Teen Hunger Force, and also in the feature Aqua Teen Hunger Force: movie film for theaters. But yeah, so rest in peace, Mr. Crocker. You will be missed. And also, I will point out that Adult Swim on their website has done a tribute, which apparently works if you live in America, but not for the international viewers, where they have released I want to say almost all the episodes, if not all the episodes, of Space Ghost Coast to Coast on its website. So you can go have yourself a marathon of Space Ghost Coast to Coast and enjoy.
Good on them.
Yes. That is it for the news. I'm going to pause so I can do the insert for a promo, which I got to record ours. But now it is time for nerding out. And I'm going to start first, and then me and Beat are going to do one together because his I also saw, but he saw an extra episode. I missed it. But I'm going to talk about a show that we used to talk about all the time, and it's Suits. This last year, actually, I think last year, maybe a year and a half ago, this was one of the shows that me and Corey would always talk about when it was coming out. Before we learned, hey, let's throw some variety into here. And so it just wrapped its first part of the season. It's going to come back in with the second half in December, or in the winter is what they said. And this is one that I honestly think Corey could get back into, because you have the main character of Mike. He got caught, practicing law without a law degree, and he went to jail for all this stuff. And so you have essentially like I want to say 4 or 5 separate stories all going on through this. So you got Mike in jail, you got Harvey trying to get him out by making a deal with Damien Dark, with same actor, Neil McDonough,
I know.
with his character. Um, then you got his Mike's fiance getting doing this Innocence Project case, and that, oh gosh, the conclusion of that, I cried. I'm like, oh my gosh, oh, all the feels just at once, all of it, just sort of deal. And then that brings in the law office of Pierce Inspector Lit, and Jessica Pearson, played by Gina Torres, working that case as well. And then you get the law office. It's basically a bare bones, like all the other partners left the law office, and so they were trying to get it through. They were trying to survive, and yeah, I'm excited for this. And this is coming from the guy who I didn't watch last season. I got, much like Corey, I got bored with this whole thing because it seemed like it was the same premise, the same thing that they were doing over and over again of, oh, this person now knows Mike's secret, but and then, oh well, they went away, and oh, now this person knows it. Oh well, they're in on the joke, sort of deal. And they've painted themselves out, or they've got themselves out of this corner that I feel like was needed. And they made it going on. They made it to where he's going to be a consultant. He's still going to make the same money. This is Harvey paying him too, but he's just going to be working as a consultant. So it's all legal, which is great. Excuse me. But yeah, I've really been enjoying Suits. It comes back sometime in the winter. I'm not 100% sure when. And
So
yeah,
so you're saying that when you want to check out, there's a slum a moment you should jump over, or you should power through still?
Since I haven't seen last season, it might be worth watching some of the, like, a few of the episodes in there. I'd have to wait for it to, when it appears on Netflix.
Okay.
It might already be on Netflix, I don't know. But you probably could, if you're wanting to get, like, if you start feeling like, oh, this is boring, it's the same old deal, you could get to, like, skip. If you really start feeling that, you could skip to here, and, like, maybe the season finale of the season before, and watch that, and then go to this and pick up right there, because it's like, oh, he went to jail. He's going to be in there for 2 years. But it's just this really nice storytelling that they do in here, and doing 4 or 5 stories all at once in this intertwining fashion, and succeeding. It's not like, oh well, here's the B story, like you get with Flash and Arrow and Supergirl, and and the superhero shows. But it's really I really enjoyed it. It brought me back into watching it. So it's where I was watching that week to week, and I wasn't waiting for Mr. Robot, mainly because I'm going to binge on it once, probably this weekend. Now that the season's over, yay! Sort of deal. I can watch the madness all at once.
That must be trippy. Oh god. But yeah. Okay, so it shows when, on which channel?
It airs on Wednesdays at 9 on USA Network here in America. I know it's airs over on Dave in the UK, and check local listings, check Wikipedia on where it is available in your country, because it's also available on Netflix too. But I do know for a fact, because I watch British TV shows, it does air over on Dave in the UK. It's not just for Top Gear reruns, folks.
Not anymore.
Yeah. So B, you're watching, or you've picked an American IFC show.
Yeah, documentary now got its second season. It showed the first episode of the second season last week, and now the second one airs tonight. We're recording on the 21st.
20th. It airs tomorrow.
You make me look bad. Do you have to really?
Sorry. No, see, I'm forgetting. You're in the future.
Yeah. I'll look at my date and dates already I had. But yes, it was unexpected. I heard Gregor talk about it on a show for us when they were mentioned that they got picked up. And so it was a short one and wasn't expecting anything, and got the first episode and was blown away by what the hell I'm watching. And I can't look away. It's awfully, terribly awesome.
Okay, I'm gonna pause you real quick right here, because a quick update to our news story that we came in the middle there of the Star Wars one. What is airing right now on TNT is The Phantom Menace. This is started right now, and then the new stuff, which I thought would have been later, but I guess the new ones like The Force Awakens and Rogue One and after will be a year after the Netflix deal, or once the Netflix deal's up.
They start with The Phantom Menace.
Yeah, I kid you not, it's right now, it's a marathon of Star Wars The Phantom Menace, Star Wars The Phantom Menace, Star Wars The Phantom Menace, from now until 2 in the, or just before 2 in the, or a little after 2 in the morning, of just watching The Phantom Menace, because who wants to see that piece of shit 5 times?
Are you an angel? No, so the documentary now show does each episode copy or homage or impression, a spoof of an other documentary, and no one is like the other.
No, it's an anthology series in that regards, much like Black Mirror and American Horror Story, where, like, so for example, with season 1, they had 7 episodes. The first episode is Sandy Passage, and it was the subject that it parodied was Grey Gardens, was a documentary called Grey Gardens. Or you have Nanook Uncovered, which is based off of Nanook Revisited, or sorry, Canuck Uncovered, based off of Nanook Revisited.
That movie.
Drones, The Hut for El Shagon, was based off of the Vice documentaries. Yeah. And it's a really cool thing, because it's almost like they take these documentaries that they loved or love, and they do their own version of them. And it looks like they're keeping up with the pattern. I'm looking at the Wikipedia page of 6 and 7 in the season will be a 2-parter. Like with the like 6 and 7 in season 1 was Gentle and Soft, the story of the Blue Jean Committee.
Yeah.
Which was based on the history of the Eagles documentary. And then on 6 and 7 this year will be Mr. Runner Up, My Life as an Oscar Bridesmaid, which is the subject is parodied as The Kid Stays in the Picture. But yeah, this is, I love this show, and it's for its weird quirkiness. Now, like, there are times where I can't watch the first episode, the Sandy Passages, just because it takes that, and I don't know if the documentary, if Grey Gardens does the same twist, or if it was just them doing this twist, but where they're like, oh, the two ladies you're following here in this documentary are serial killers, and they've killed the film crew, and wasn't until
Delivery boys as well. Poor delivery boy. Oof.
Yeah.
But the main thing is that it's an anthology like American Horror Story, and no, it's each episode is not is a standalone, and American Horror Story is a whole season.
Well, I would say that because it is more in the Black Mirror style of anthology, where every episode is different. But I'm also looking at that as a lot of people don't know or haven't seen Black Mirror, which shame on you. Shame. Cue shame.
But you see a Black Mirror episode, and the colors, the camera, and everything screams Black Mirror. Each episode is filmed differently, and the production value. I know only Maron's show, Mark Maron's show on IFC, and didn't know more about the channel. I don't know how much money they have, but it looks like they throw money at it or spend it wisely.
It's this. So to give that backstory, it is owned by the same network that owns AMC. So the people who bring you Walking Dead, Mad Men, Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, all those shows also owns this. And you have heard of them before because I've mentioned Portlandia, and Portlandia also airs on IFC. But the other one is the production company with this, I believe, it's Broadway Video is involved in here as well. So that's the Lorne Michaels run thing, because it's you got 3 former SNL guys with Fred Armisen, Bill Hader, and Seth Meyers all doing work, and John Mulaney, who wrote the first episode, The Bunker, in season 2. He wrote for SNL. He created Stefan with Bill Hader.
And when you think that they are spoofing like a stupid movie, the War Room spoof was so good. He played James Carville like his twin brother.
Wait, was that who his character was based off of?
Oh yeah, and the whole thing I watched War Room a while ago, and it was so spot on. Fred Armisen was perfect in other ones.
Well,
but
Fred Armisen did. Yeah, or no, wait, Fred Armisen did, or Bill Hader?
That was what I'm saying. Fred Armisen rocks all the time, but Bill Hader went beyond whatever his skills are, because he sold it that well. It's crazy.
Well, yeah, that makes sense though, because Bill Hader did the James Carville on SNL.
That's the one thing I didn't see. SNL is not a show I pursue, so I couldn't tell what talent expects me. And when I saw it, it was blown away. So kudos to them.
That's something I didn't even realize. But and then I'm looking at these other because they have all the episodes and the subjects that they're parodied. The next episode, which you saw, which was Juan Likes Rice and Chicken, and I'm realizing there's a little bit of a pattern to the names of their episodes, and it's just like, all right, because this one is a subject parodied of Hero Dreams of Sushi. All right, we got a person's name, what they are doing, about what. It's like, all right, come on. At first I'm like, oh, you're clever. Now I'm like, wait, it's a little bit lazy, but still clever.
Yeah. And the introduction to each show is Helen fucking Mirren.
Oh, so they kept that going, because I missed the beginning.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I missed that with because the Suits finale was last week. It went a minute or too long. So by the time I switched over, I was in the episode of The Bunker.
And
or the episode called The Bunker.
Great stars like Jack Black playing Shane Smith from Vice, and other great names that pop up here and there and play themselves. Kenny Loggins.
Yeah.
And other people. So be amazed and be prepared. Recommend it wholeheartedly.
Oh yeah, definitely. and you can find that Wednesdays at 10 p.m. on IFC or on the IFC app because they all pimp their apps now. So our discussion topic, and I was going through this a little bit. It's an Emmys recap. Now I know for some of you guys, for you, you're gonna be like, oh, whatever. But the big winners were Game of Thrones. I think Veep won for a lot of the comedy stuff.
O.J. Simpson.
That
was the biggest winner.
Yeah, the biggest winner, the outstanding lead actor and actresses in drama series was, both well deserved with Rami Malek from Mr. Robot and Tatiana Maslany from Orphan Black, which that's just long overdue.
Sadly, even past, I'm not into the show anymore as much as it was before Orphan Black. So
yeah,
1 year too late.
Yeah, I could see that, but it's better if she didn't get it now, it would have had to have been next year with these. Okay, we've snubbed her for playing 50 fucking different characters. Like, let's not forget that here, Emmy people. She's not just playing Sarah. She's playing Cosima and I'm Allison and Rachel, and I'm blanking on other names now, but she's playing every clone in there, including a transgendered clone, and doing them well.
Yeah.
And all that. But yeah, so you mentioned the O.J. Simpson one, and this is one of the categories because it won for outstanding original series or outstanding limited series, and this is one that I don't quite get because the other people in the category, I get that it won. That's great. This is because that's a limited series. But you look, Fargo's up there. Fargo's had 3 seasons. Now, granted, yeah, they're different casts, but still, it's like
Fargo got snubbed. If any show got snubbed this year, it must be Fargo.
Yeah. Same thing with American Crime. I mean, it's like, wait, but it's like because to me, it's almost like if you're calling yourself the same show and you're using the same crew to write on the show, isn't it still the same show? You're just doing it with different people.
You take a brain out of a person and implant it into another person.
Yeah.
What person is in there?
Well, no, because it's like because what honestly brought this on was the fact that American Horror Story, whichever one it would do, would get nominated or win in this category. And I'm like, wait, but it's the same. And that one, it's the same cast. They're just doing different characters now. It's like
they have some rotation in the cast, but yeah.
Yeah. Some other ones you have outstanding television movie went to Sherlock the Abominable Bride. Which well deserved. Okay, yeah, this one I don't even care who's which. Okay, there's some weird things here. I'm looking at this for the first time, but outstanding supporting actor in a comedy went to Louis Anderson in Baskets. 100% fully agree. But then it's like Keegan-Michael Key on his own show as a supporting actor. How does that work exactly?
Categories are always messy things.
Yeah,
but,
it's so weird. And then outstanding supporting actress in a comedy went to Kate McKinnon on SNL.
The one thing that stood out to me was John Oliver got his due. And
yeah.
Bill Maher was also nominated in the same category. I wonder if he's going to be bitter about that. That's really shows all
the outstanding variety talk show went to Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, beating out the Late Late Show with James Corden, Real Time with Bill Maher, the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon. Outstanding variety sketch series went to Key and Peele, beating out Portlandia, SNL, Drunk History, Inside Amy Schumer, Documentary Now. Outstanding directing for a drama series went to Game of Thrones. Writing went to Game of Thrones for both of them for the Battle of the Bastards. Transparent one for outstanding directing for a comedy series. Aziz Ansari got writing for a comedy series with Master of None. him and both Alan Young or Alan Yang. But it looks like the majority of them went to The People versus O.J. Simpson and Game of Thrones.
And some people off.
Yeah, and then I know At Midnight won a technical one, like a technical Emmy or whatever. So they're now 2-time Emmy winners, which is great to see.
Not bad.
But yeah, I don't mind this, but at the same time, it's sort of like I would be doing things differently if I was running the Emmys with these choices here for nominations. And I get it, it's a bunch of bullshit.
They're safe choices. There's nothing that there was really a bombshell or whatever. So they played it safe, and that's sometimes good. Like the one thing I didn't get is how Tina Fey and Amy Poehler share one award for guest actress in a comedy series. They are listed as both.
Yeah,
as winners. So okay.
No, yeah,
that's all made up bullshit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's like, especially if you watch the episode of True TV, Adam Ruins Everything, where he talked. It was the first episode of the second season where he talked about award shows, and even including the Emmys, and said how basically it's a lot of times it's just whichever people can dish out the most money, they get the award, and it's like, all right, cool, I guess.
And the takeaway is also that Netflix gained some ground in the Emmys. That's the most important, most interesting side note.
Yeah, Netflix gained. As long as Amazon has transparent going, they're going to be getting those awards every single time. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's like Jeffrey Tambor is probably going to get that award next year, and all that. But yeah, anything else you want to add?
No, that's as I said, it was played safe. No surprises. Nothing much there to talk, except for the Miss Robot award, how he played with the fourth wall with the viewers. That's some classist guy.
Wait, did he seriously? I didn't see the awards. Did he actually? Oh, that's so cool.
A wink made there, and he has a twin brother.
And he's what?
He has a twin brother. Yeah, that's my reaction as well.
Oh wow, that's wait, identical twin or fraternal?
I've heard identical. I didn't see it. I heard it only.
Oh gosh, they could be doing some trippy. Because who else is a twin? Shawn Ashmore, from who played Iceman in the X-Men series.
Oh,
because and actually him and his brother, they're both pretty good. They're both Canadian actors, in all these different things. The first thing that they were in was Animorphs on Nickelodeon, I should say, I want to say it was Sean was in, and then they gave up. Or no, it was his brother. I can't think of his brother's name, but then Sean got this little cameo, and on like one of the last episodes, like as they're just walking up because they're identical brothers, identical twin brothers, and it's like, all right, that's a little ironic here that your twin brother now is going to just skyrocket and do all these, these X-Men movies that started great, then sort of started sucking, and all that. And yeah, it's funny that way, but I'm seeing stuff that they could do on Mr. Robot with the fact that he's a twin, if his brother wanted to get involved.
It's meta enough. Thank you. No, thanks. But yeah, that's all in all. And I agree with most of the decisions they made.
Yeah, there's not really anything that I'm like, oh, well, I don't want it. No, because it's like, oh, yeah, that's great. But this one was nominated? Oh, man. It's one of those sort of things. Like Documentary Now. Like, wait, yeah, it lost to, a good show. And also, I mean, some of them it's like, okay, it's due because, Key and Peele, they wrapped, they're not shooting anymore. You'll get that. So it's like, oh, we've snubbed it in the past enough, so here's its award.
It was like you had Keanu. Now here's some little award for you that you don't do this.
Yeah,
guys.
Yeah, exactly. So that is just going to wrap it up here for us. But before we go, I got to tell you some stuff. So we have a Patreon. That's one way you could support us. We because we got bills here. We got to pay for the hosting, the website, all those little things. And Dave pays for a lot of that stuff out of his pocket. So there's two ways you can help us out here. One, you can go to patreon.com or gncast.com/support and do the Patreon, where it's once a month. You give us $1 a month, and then you're good. Set it, forget it, whatever. It's like your Netflix bill. Or the other way is by going to amazon.com and looking and buying stuff through gncast.com/support. But then you click the Amazon link, and whatever you buy, 4% of that goes to Dave to then do on here, or to then go towards the shows, or to go towards the network.
Buy what you want. Just go over our link, and you're already helping. Thank you for that.
Yeah, exactly. And it's so cool. They're both super easy ways to help out the show, help out the network. And you can contact us by leaving us a voicemail at 805-328-3966 or emailing us at mail@elsenerds.com. And all of our subscription options and links can be found over at gncast.com/subscribe. And you can join our Facebook page under Galactic Netcasts. For all the network stuff, it's at Galactic Netcasts, or search Galactic Netcasts. You can follow the show at ElseNerds. I'm at, let's do the producers first. Corey is at Don't Ask Comics. Evan is at Mr_Fusion. You can find Beatmaster at Beatmaster80, because now you're a host this week. And I can be found at that Gregor on Twitter. And the last thing that's said is this has been a Don't Tell Glenn production. We'll see you next week.
Bye, everyone.
You're supposed to say or else.
Or what? Or else? That doesn't